So, what do you think of Mark Sauer?
I think he's a great dad. I think he's kind of a funny person, like not like anybody else I know in my life, just by his personality, but he's a really good dad. Um, he's always really been supportive, easygoing, and helpful, and just like a stable base growing up. And I'm really thankful for that because some people don't get to have that privilege of having a dad present in their life to um, provide that stability. And I think that's a big reason why I've been able to be as successful as I am and enjoy the life that I live now.
So, when did you first meet Mark Sauer?
I first met Mark when I guess I was born, but I don't know exactly when my first memory of dad was. Probably, I don't know, I have like little memories from childhood. I remember at our first house on Silverthorne, I remember like being at home and being really excited when he would get home from work and I would like hide behind the fence, hide somewhere to run out and surprise him when he would come home from work. And I remember that. And I feel like I probably was like 5 or 6 at that time. But that might be one of my first memories, I feel like, of dad. I also remember when I was younger and he would do like tickle attacks. I remember he would like tickle so much that it would actually hurt.
Yes.
And yeah, I remember like I have memories from childhood for sure. Some of my first memories of dad.
And then do you have any fun memories or funny stories or anything you want to share about Mark?
Did Grace already tell the eggnog story?
No, you can tell it.
Okay.
Is this when he made eggnog French toast?
No. Well, yeah, and he made eggnog scrambled eggs.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. He made eggnog scrambled eggs.
Yeah, and it was disgusting. Because we wanted it breakfast time, and it was around Christmas, and Dad liked eggnog, so we had eggnog, and we wanted either French toast and scrambled eggs, or it was one of them or both. And so he was like, we're out of eggs. Might as well try it with eggnog. Who knows? Maybe it'll be great. And it was terrible.
We were out of milk and he used eggnog. The eggnog French toast actually makes sense. That might have tasted pleasant, but yeah, I remember it was eggnog scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
He's a horrible. He would starve to death if Joanne wasn't there. So.
I remember him making us fried bologna sandwiches.
That was good. Yeah.
Favorite ever.
Yeah, those were bangers.
He would always like cook pasta for me. He'd be like, "Oh, you want me to make you some pasta?" And I remember he like used to be obsessed with rice. He had a rice maker. Always make white rice. It wasn't brown. Now I think he eats brown for health reasons. It was always white, steamed white rice.
Yeah, he had a steamer. Okay. Okay. So, what do you think of Mark Sauer?
I think he's my dad. That's a very open-ended question.
Yeah, and bold statement there. I mean, can you prove he's your dad?
I guess not, but I think I have a lot of features that it's like, where else did they come from? I look like his daughter.
So that's your only opinion of him, is that he's your dad?
That is not my only opinion. That's just my first response to such an open-ended question. I think I like him.
Would you say you approve of him?
Yeah, I'd say so. I love him. He's my dad. I think as a person, more externally from my him, he is someone who's very hardworking. Yeah. He is very duty oriented and very responsible as a person, very goal oriented, but also process oriented as a person. He Yeah.
Do you have any, what are some good things about Mark?
I thought those were those bad things
It was,
about
it was
Mark.
a good start.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with just the. Am I supposed to say everything I think about Dad?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he prioritizes family above almost everything else. Which I think is a good thing. I very much agree that that's the most valuable thing to do. I feel like I should have been prepared for this.
It's okay. I can edit anything.
I think he is funny-ish. Don't go too far with that. But funny-ish. He has a good sense of humor, though, beyond being only kind of clever. But he has a good sense of finding the humor in things as they come with life, which I think is very helpful and beneficial. Good to be.
Do you have any good jokes that Mark
that he said?
Yeah.
I have bad jokes that you could say just that count.
You want to, it's going to go on YouTube. You want to give an example of one of those jokes that Mark would.
They're not inappropriate. Is this going on YouTube? I didn't consent to that.
You can't withdraw consent. We already agreed to the recording.
I don't know about that. I know that anytime we go to a restaurant and someone's like, "Oh, I'm hungry or I'm starving," he's like, "Good thing we just found ourselves in a restaurant." That's a classic Dad. But that's what I meant by a bad joke that he said.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Do you have any good stories or a favorite memory you want to share of Mark?
I really feel put on the spot right now.
Do you have a funny story, a favorite story, a happy memory?
Let me think of things. Being a mom ruins your brain. I swear. There's like facts about that. Like your gray matter gets like eaten up by being pregnant. But
I've been telling that to Joanne for a long time.
That she's stupid because she's a mom. That's what's always mom that was killing the pets. You know that.
Yeah. What about when he got you a bunny?
I remember him killing my bunny. Actually, that is one pet that he killed, and he felt really bad.
I think it was more like nature killed the bunny, and Dad had like.
Yeah, the bunny got heat stroke, and we just had bunnies in Texas. That was just the reality. This is gonna sound bad, but we had multiple bunnies that died of heat stroke. We really tried to not let them die of heat stroke, but this was the first, not the last.
I thought one died by a hawk or a bobcat.
One disappeared of the like 6 bunnies that we had.
That's what you think. I think we found evidence, but
I think that's the like going theory. I accept that as the going theory, but I don't think there's like any evidence. There's not like hawk tracks going around.
Yeah, there's a hawk footprints everywhere.
That was an interesting. I don't know if this is a good story, but that was an interesting one with Dad because I think Dad very much raised us like little adults. That was very much Dad's take on parenting.
That's how I raised Jade,
which isn't bad and was very like respectful in a lot of ways. But that was one of the scenarios where he was just like, she's a little adult. I'm just gonna tell her what happened. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, your bunny died of heat stroke. Well, I was out of town, and that was not the right move. Like I cried out of town for like 4 days until we got back home. And yeah, it wasn't a bad move, but it was just one of those times where it made you realize the way that Mom and Dad really do balance each other out as parents, especially. That Mom had a lot of that like compassionate, gentle, nurturing, and structured approach that was very like supportive and scaffolded and made it easier on us as kids. And Dad encouraged like independence and respect and like independent thought. That they did even each other out because that was.
Did he drive you there and help move your stuff or something like that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he did. I don't see. I don't know if any of these sound good because they're not gonna have like the sarcasm of him. Whenever you're like, he let you go to A&M, and all I remember is a lot of the other schools that I got accepted to, or XYZ. He was like, I'm not paying for you to go there, or even one that I got a full ride.
You would have done it though.
Yeah, absolutely, he would have. I don't think I always understood that. I don't think I always knew his sarcasm until more recently.
Favorite parenting moments, or can you describe his parenting style?
I think something Dad was always, this is not like an overarching style, but I guess what I described before was Dad treated us like little adults. And it was very like, which I don't think he would use these words. He would think these were like new age and hippy dippy, but very respectful parenting. And very much treating us with like maturity, independence, independent thought, fostering all of that from the beginning. And sometimes giving us things that I think were a little bit more than we could reasonably handle at that age, because that was the downside and the limitation of his understanding, but usually not. And one thing he always did that so many parents, especially during our generation of growing up, did not do was Dad always apologized if he ever messed up, was short with us, was accidentally like impatient or disrespectful, or just like said something actually incorrect. He always acknowledged the mistake and apologized in the same way he would with an adult had he been short with an adult or anything like that.
Yep.
And it's something so many, I see this a lot like as a teacher, even so many like old school teachers will be like, well, but you don't need to apologize to the kids, as though they're not people that like don't deserve that acknowledgement. And Dad was always stomach flu. And I think I may be the only one with this memory, because I think I may have been the only one.
I think I remember this because I remember throwing up so much that I had just like given up on life. I remember that I didn't.
There were a couple of times. This is just what life is like that I'm like prepping for, because I'm in this chapter. When you have multiple kids, every now and then just like an illness runs through your family. But this was one of those times with us. We all had a stomach flu. We were all throwing up all the time. The kids were. And Mom, I think, had already like gotten it and gotten over it. Dad hadn't gotten it yet. And it was so bad. This was like day 3 or 4 at least. Yeah. We all had like pots and like pallets just set up in the living room. We were watching TV with like our vomit buckets and our ginger ale next to us.
I remember that I didn't even want to cry anymore because I had thrown up so much. I was just numb to it, and I would just be like,
and I don't remember a lot of like that part because I was very young. I don't know. I don't have a lot of like specific memories of it except for the part I'm about to say. Like I remember like vaguely being set up in the living room and all of that. But this was like day 3 or 4 and I had thrown up all over myself. And so Mom and Dad were going to give me like a quick just like wipe down sponge bath. Mom was doing it. Dad was helping. And I think like they were just like popping us in, wiping us down, moving on to the next one. But I had just thrown up over myself. So I needed like more attention and care. So Dad came in to help. And Dad was helping wipe me down and it smelled like throw up and all of that. But then Dad turned. Dad had to throw up. Dad threw up. Dad got back up to like help wipe me down again. And Dad fainted and hit his head on the toilet.
I did not remember that.
I think I was the only one in there. And Mom like screamed, of course, and freaked out. But like that's how duty oriented he was. He was like, I need to help clean up this child. That like while it was hitting him, he was just like dealing with it. Like
what a doofus.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's endearing.
It is.
All right.
I've got sweet ones with Dad.
All right, one more. Because I already got a lot of footage to go through for this.
Okay, one. I can go for vague. Every night, Dad would always like put me to bed, and I was kind of a brat, and he was kind of tired of it because I was the third one. Yeah, so when he would try to put me to bed, I'd always want like another bedtime story. He told me a lot of nice historical bedtime stories. He would read me a lot of good books. He gave me good taste in books and like inspired a love of literature with all of that. But also during a lot of my toddler phase, I remember like throwing temper tantrums because I was like another book or another chapter, and he was like, it's good enough, Grace. And I get that now more than I did at the time. But I'd be like, no, and I'd like cry every night and be like, I hate you, like you don't love me because you won't stay. And he'd be like, it's okay if you hate me, I love you anyways. That was a good parenting move. I can also tell the story.
I'm not, but okay.
So how long have you known Mark?
Since 1987. No, 19. Oh, start again.
No, it's okay.
It's 1988.
I'll just edit it out.
It's 1988.
I'll edit it out.
No, do it again. Start again.
Okay.
Yes.
Starting it again.
All right. Wait, how should I pose like this? All right.
All right.
Okay.
So, how long have you known Mark?
Since 1988, February 7th.
How did you meet him?
On a blind date.
On a blind date? Tell me about it.
No, some things are private.
I'm gonna edit this out.
All right.
Mom, do you smash on the first date?
I don't know what smash is. Wait.
Okay.
Start it over again.
No.
Start it over again.
I'll edit it.
I'll tell you the
I'll
truth.
edit it.
I'll tell you the truth.
No, I'll edit it.
about these years. Go on, start again. All right.
We'll start over.
again.
Okay, it's starting over.
No.
All right, it's starting over. All right, I'm just gonna edit it out.
Wait, I gotta.
So-
wait, I
I know.
I got
All right.
confused myself.
All right. I'll tell you the truth.
Why is she crying?
Because Dad and I kept this up for a long time.
What? Okay.
Wait, I gotta go.
I gotta leave.
No, you can stay.
All right.
Wait, I gotta take a couple of breaths.
Okay.
All right. You can start. If it hadn't been Grace's big mouth. All right, you can start all over again.
So, tell me the story of how you met Mark.
I placed an ad
In the newspaper.
in a newspaper,
Yeah.
and I
Around
said,
Christmas, because you were the good girl.
Yeah, I said, "Dear Santa." I don't remember it exactly. Now I know Grace saw the little ad. Oh, I think that's Grace. Let's stop and start over again.
No.
All right, start it again.
No, okay, I will.
Well, Grace.
All right, starting it
Wait,
again.
we've got to do it for Grace because she's.
No,
We can do this
stop.
after.
No, Joanne, stop.
Well, after she put the baby to bed, she might get her feelings.
It's fine. Let me do this.
Grace might want to watch this too.
You're making this worse by making it take so long. All right.
All right, starting it in.
No, okay. So, what's your favorite? This is the most ADD interview I've ever seen. What's one of your favorite memories with Mark?
I've got a few. Which ones do you want to know?
Whatever one you want to share with the kid.
All right, well, let's see. When I first met him, the first time on our first date, he didn't tell me this until after, that he came an hour or two early and parked down the street and waited for the time when we were supposed to meet. And then he came to my door
Anxiety.
and knocked on the door.
Yeah.
Another time was when he got me, because I was working with somebody and they had Westies. That's how we got Wendy.
Oh my God, I
And
remember.
we went to the dog. We went to a pet store. We were looking at these dogs, and there was a little white dog. What breed was she?
She's a Westie.
Yeah, Westie. And she was really cute, and it was just a puppy. And I said, "Oh, I really like that dog." And I said, "Someone at my work has one," and Dad had gotten it for me, and he placed it on my doorstep, and he rang the bell and ran away, and the dog was just sitting there. That was a sweet one. Yeah.
What are some nice things about Mark? Can you say some nice things about Mark?
Oh, sure.
What are some characteristics? of
One
Mark?
thing that I think one of the things that I really liked about him is he was intelligent, but he was stable, confident, secure. He was his own person and knew what he wanted, and it was a good balance for me and everything. Just like at our wedding, when we went up to the priest and we were there in front of our family, and we just had a small wedding, also with just our friends and our family. My hand was shaking so bad, Dad took it and held it when we were first married and sang our vows.
Don't you ever tell
And
me?
I knew I walked down the aisle and I knew that he was a secure, confident stable person.
You never told me that story. You never told me the good story. Hey.
Hi.
So, how long have you known Mark Sauer for?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I've been with you for 5 years, so
Yeah, 4 or 5 years, yeah.
yeah. So about 5 years time.
Yeah, 5 years, you're right.
Um,
What are your thoughts on Mark Sauer?
well, I'm sorry, Nathan, but he is by far the funniest person I've ever met. I can't tell the people some of the jokes that I've seen him send, but I can tell you, there ain't one.
What are some good Mark jokes?
Like I said,
What's a joke that Mark would think is funny?
well, it's really inappropriate. Are you sure?
All right, never mind. What are some characteristics about Mark? What are some good things about Mark?
Well, he's definitely a huge history buff.
Yes.
Biggest bookworm I know,
Yes.
which I think's awesome. I feel like I learn new things from him often. He loves his family very much. What's another good one? I don't know. I just like that he's very involved with everybody. Even I think him parenting you guys, like I can tell you're very similar to your dad in all the best ways. He's awesome. Very intelligent man. Very, very intelligent man, which is awesome. He just cracks me up. Really, I have to say that's like the favorite part about him. He's a funny man.
His children and how he raised them.
Oh, I think they're all just awesome, upstanding. I mean, I'm comparing them to my family, and holy shit.
Yeah. What are can you?
Yeah, you did a great job, Mark. Seriously, good job.
Can you? Do you have any stories about Mark, or do you remember like a story when you met him? He always takes us for breakfast, so that's one of the things I appreciate him. Is he's a big breakfast guy.
Yeah. Stories. Well, I guess it's kind of hard because I know we haven't really been able to spend much time with your parents since we live states away and whatnot. But one of my best memories is when he came to pick us up from the airport. And then we went to that little breakfast place. I forgot what it was called because it was just you, me, and Jade. Gosh, you remember?
It was like maybe the Egg and I or something like that.
No, because it was like.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like kind of more in the evening.
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, no. That and like when we spent time with Mitch and Grace for the wedding. I just think that we drove down to their like reception and stuff.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was just such a great time. You gave your mom such a hard time because she got drunk. Why are you ruining Joanne's fun, Mark?
Yeah, well. Alright, well, we'll wrap it up unless there's anything else you want to say.
Well, I just want to say I'm incredibly thankful that I get to be a part of your family, and it's just awesome knowing that I have like a really cool dad that, even though not by blood, he's accepted me fully into his family, and I just really appreciate that. He's been so good to my daughter and I, and yeah, I love you a lot, Mark. You're awesome.
Thank you. So, what do you think of Mark?
He's very funny and sweet.
What are some things about Mark?
Like, in what way?
Can you name some like characteristics or traits that Mark has?
Like hobbies?
Like I wouldn't say he's very talkative. I would say that he's wise. Like some traits, some like.
Okay, start over.
Okay, I can just edit it.
No, start over.
Okay.
Start over.
No, I'll cut this out on the computer.
No, start over.
All right. What do you think of Mark? Okay. I'll edit it out. Yes, I will.
Okay, so pretend like we're restarting. 3, 2, 1.
All right. What do you think of Mark Sauer?
I think he is very sweet and generous, and
What are some traits of his that you want to talk about, or what are some nice things about Mark?
some nice things about Mark
Yeah.
that he's done.
Yeah, those are good examples.
I can't think right now.
It's okay. I think he has kind of goofy hair.
Oh, I have something.
All right.
No, I don't.
Well, do you want to tell a story or a memory?
So, I have something that's about him, kind of like what you just said.
All right.
So, when I think it was the first time we've ever gone to Texas, and I was in the living room looking at all the pictures, and I looked at one of the pictures. I think it was like a wedding or something, and I looked at Joanne and this mysterious person, and I was like, Joanne, did you happen to marry a Mr. Bean?
Yeah, he kind of does look like Mr.
Because
Bean.
you look so much like Mr. Bean.
Yeah. Hey, you dumb baby. I'm smarter than you. I know more words than her. What do you know, Charlotte?
Mark.
What do you think about Mark? She looks like a little hobbit. Hey, baby. I'll take it back. You're not that dumb. But you're not smarter than me yet, so.
Well, it's getting close though.
It's close. Charlotte, what do you think of Mark? What are some of your favorite things about Mark Sauer? Okay, baby. So tell me about the time that you first met Mark Sauer.
I think he was just like, "Hi, I'm Mark."
Yeah.
I don't really remember anything in particular about it. Nathan, what was it like the first time you met him?
I was like, I can't believe I got born to this idiot. What do you have any good stories about Mark, or any funny stories you want to share, or favorite memories?
You really should have let me prep for some of this.
You and your wife are the exact same.
See, now we got Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in the background.
Do you hear this, Bree? You hear her battling? She's singing along.
Yeah, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's having a great time. Right after Charlotte was born,
Yeah.
Mark brought us Burger King
Uh-huh.
in the hospital, and that might be my favorite memory
Is
because
it a Whopper?
I think I got a Whopper, yeah. And we were both like starving to death. And it was Easter, so everything was closed. And yeah, he brought up some Burger King, met Charlotte. He was thrilled to meet Charlotte. Probably at least as excited as I was about the Burger King.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty good.
What are your opinions or thoughts on Mark Sauer?
I think he's great. I think he's. I'll leave that in. That's
Okay.
great.
That's the only thing I've been telling everyone that I'll edit that out.
And then you're gonna leave it in.
Yes, but for
But edit
you,
this part
but
out.
because you told me to leave it in, it's going to be the one thing I edit out.
Okay. But edit that out and then leave this in.
Okay.
You were asking for my general thoughts and opinions on him.
Yeah, what are some treats or some good things or nice
He
things?
like gets up too early.
Correct.
First of all, like 4 a.m. every day, I think. He sends me a lot of emails that I really appreciate. He's always sending like articles and stuff. I think he just sent me a picture of a Craigslist ad for a car today. Like, he didn't even send the link to the ad. It was just the picture of it. He's a lot of fun to talk to. He knows a lot about a lot of things.
Yes. He's well read and researched usually.
Yeah. He's always welcoming and generous, and yeah, I think he, raised at least 2 of his kids pretty well.
Okay. So me and Sarah, right?
Sure, we can go with that. No, all 3 of you guys are great. I think he did a really great job, and he does a really great job with Charlotte all the time. Good guy all around.